All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. I'm Palm Beaches Paul, and it is another Florida Fridayz. And this is episode 3, where we basically have a free for all. We talk about anything and everything that's been going on here in South Florida. Got a few topics lined up for today. I think this is going to be a more interesting show than last Friday. And I've gotten myself a little bit more organized. And I also had a little intro music. I was trying to find a little music that we could play before the show starts. I don't know if you heard that or not, but that's with my Epidemic Sounds, great service that I use, and they have some really cool music. So anyway, it is Friday. I first of all, cocktail time. Got your drinks. Cheers. Drink up. I got myself another nice IPA, and ready to get the show started today. So we're going to see who hops on here. It looks like we've got one person on, so thank you for hopping on early. We'll see how it goes, but as I said, I'm trying to get these Friday live streams a little more organized and bringing to the table some notes and some topics to talk about so we can go through the next hour or so. And of course, you guys are always welcome to interject, ask questions, talk to me about anything you want to about moving or living in South Florida, bring up subject matters, just keep it clean, no politics, none of the crazy stuff, just normal stuff. And so we'll talk about what's happening here in the South Florida area. It's been a pretty good week, some decent weather, a lot better than last week. And today was a beautiful day. Went out and actually got a cool video done today with a friend of mine, Hector. And he's did some of the cool drone shots in my video that you guys may have seen of the icon. He did all those cool drone shots that you saw there. So he's been helping me out with that. And he went with me today and we did a video about a cool story about a local place that's a beachfront bar that may not be here anymore. It's kind of sad because a lot of South Florida, we're seeing a lot of that happen where cool places that have been here for 30 years or longer are kind of slowly just disappearing and something new's popping up. And change happens, I guess. But nonetheless, we don't like to see some of the cool landmarks go away or the cool bars or restaurants, places that have been here for a while. So that video, I'll be working on that, try to get it up as soon as possible. We just shot it today, so we got some editing to do. But anyway, happy Friday. And you always got to start with one. And we got one viewer. So whoever you are, viewer, thank you. Cheers to you. Put a comment, say hello down on the side, where you're from. And let's get this going. We'll hopefully get some more people to come on here. So as I said, I do have some things lined up for the show today. One, we've got the new market update for the real estate market for the month of March. That just came out from the Board of Realtors. So we have our market update about homes, how long they've been sitting on the market, all that good stuff, median price for homes between this time 2023 and last March 2022. We also have a story in the news about a really cool place here. If you've ever been in South Florida, there's a place called Brinny Breezes. It's a trailer park community right in between the ocean and the Intracoastal Waterway, just north of Gulfstream on A1A. And back in 2006, they were offered quite a large sum of money, and they didn't take it. And that's the interesting thing about these, and we'll go more into it later, but the interesting thing about ownership at Brinny Breezes, they're all trailer homes, and based on the square footage that your trailer home takes, you earn shares. So you have actually shares in there. So it's a little different concept. And they were offered $500 million to sell Brinny Breezes, which we'll go talk about that a little bit later. But it's a really cool place, and it's next to a really great surf shop. And it's actually a topic that actually was suggested to me from a longtime viewer, a friend that's been giving me some really good advice. And he suggested I go make a video about that. And I probably will, because it's a cool place, and it's kind of neat to show this kind of old Florida right there next to a cool surf shop and everything. So anyway, let's see, what else? We've got the big insurance story. You saw my video. If you saw the video, Insurance Hell, that I just put out about Citizens Insurance here in the state of Florida, and the fact that by 2027, every Citizens policyholder, with the exception of those that don't have a wind policy, will be required to have flood insurance. So we'll talk about that. There's a new luxury rental option it's a membership-based rental option called Landing. And with Landing, it's pretty cool if you're the person on the go and don't need a home base of any kind, because for a relatively small fee per month, they cover everything. It's furnished, your utilities, your cable, your internet. But the catch, right? What's the catch, Paul? Especially with rentals, as crazy as they are, especially in South Florida. The catch is you have to be willing to relocate at a 3 days notice. So you could be there and then someone else may want it, and a long-term rent that would pay the normal price, I guess, and you have to vacate and go somewhere else. So we'll talk about that. We'll bring that up in a little bit. See, we've got another viewer who joined, so thank you for coming in. Please, guys, comment section is there for you. It's easy. You go there, you say hello. I know who's watching the videos. I'm not going to put you on camera or anything. Nobody's going to know who you are because, most people don't have the real name on YouTube anyway. So, but say hello. Let me know where you're from. So that's kind of a little bit about the show. Some of the stuff that I wanted to talk to you guys about, what's going on here in South Florida, and been having a good time doing these on Friday. I think we've got a good mojo, good momentum going. We just keep doing this as many Fridays as we can and kind of build a relationship. And I'm hoping the 8 o'clock hour works. We'll see if that's a good time. I've had some people come on, and as the hour gets going and people start catching up, more and more people pop on. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll only time will tell. It's only the 3rd episode that I've done like this. So we'll see if this works for everybody. All right. So, all right. Well, I guess we'll get started. The 3 of us. So, and if you are new to my channel, I'm Palm Beaches Paul. I'm a local realtor with Keller Williams Real Estate here in Boynton Beach, Florida. For the past 10 years, I've been selling real estate in South Florida, and I've lived in South Florida for about 30 years with my family. And so I love living here. It's a great place. And if you've never been to this channel, if it's the first time you just happen to come on my live stream, I make videos about what it's like to live here in South Florida. And it's a great place. I think today was one of those days where it was absolutely beautiful. It couldn't have been a better day to call paradise. The water was just all sorts of green and blue and aqua. It was gorgeous. So it was a great day. So anyway, that's what I do. I make videos about what it's like to live here, entertain you a little bit, bring you some real estate information, real estate news. And I also will occasionally just go out and do fun stuff here, showing you cool places that you can visit if you're here, museums, parks, best beaches, all sorts of stuff. So, all right. Well, we're going to take a minute here because we're at that very fun and entertaining part of doing a live stream where you're talking 100% to yourself because there's not a single person watching right now. But hey, that's okay. I'm used to that. So it takes a while to get this going. So let's see if someone pops on. Jim Carrey, me, myself, and Irene. Me, myself, and I. Need to play some more music while we're waiting. Can we do that? We hit 10 minutes. I've scared everyone off in the first 10 minutes. Where's that song I had on? So hopefully you guys can still hear me as I turn the music down. It's okay, I'm not sure of. We'll find out on the playback. Come on, America. Join me here. I know there's people thinking about moving to South Florida. People want to know what's going on in South Florida. It's too early to be out partying. Watch a little Palm Beachespaul and then head out Do your Friday night. And there you go. We got someone back. Who do we got? We got someone going on. You first. Break the barrier. You can comment over in the section here, in the chat section. Tell me where you're from, what's your name, who you are. And they're gone. They pop in and they pop out. This must be what it's like on TikTok when people are live and they have someone viewing and there's nobody viewing. And you go to the next one, they got thousands of people viewing. Although TikTok's a scary place. There's some crazy stuff on it. All right. Well, there we go. Our song is ended, and we got another person back. So, all right, guys. Well, I guess I could get to the market report, and let's go do the market report since we got one person here. So, the Palm Beach County market snapshot, as they call it, from the Palm Beaches MLS for the month of March. So, for single-family homes between 2023 and, of course, 2022. The number of closed sales went down from 1,590 last year to 1,465 this year. But what didn't go down was the median price for a single family home. The median price at this time last year in Palm Beach County was $541,000. The median price for a single family home in 2023 for the month of March is $575,000. So, yeah. I know we keep talking about this big crash, and I know a lot of people keep throwing that word around. The market's crashing. And although there are fewer home sales, the price of these homes are still way up there. So you haven't seen them come down that much yet. The original list price that people are receiving, I can tell you, and I'll tell you a little bit more about this in a minute, but the original list price was 100%, right? This time last year, they were getting 100% and even over. And now it's down to about 94.8%. And the number of days on market, this is definitely one that's increased because we're seeing homes today that have been on the market for 190 days, working with my buyers. The median days for homes to contract last year at this time was 10 days, and now it's up to 31. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can drop this down a little. There we go. And hey, I got a couple more people on here. There you go. Hey, guys. All right. Hey, Johnny, thank you. Thank you. Yes, TGIF. Cheers. I got my drink. I'll be with you in just a minute. I'm looking. So even though I'm looking at you guys, I got another window popped up and I'm reading the market report for Palm Beach County. So this will be of interest to you, Johnny, because we're talking about the market report for Palm Beach County and the prices. So inventory. Now listen to this, guys. Here's the big one. Last year, inventory, we only had 1,869 homes on the market. At that time, active listings. And now we have 3,876. That's 107.4%. So there's a lot of homes on the market, and there are, but I will tell you before I go on with this list, there are homes on the market, but I'm working with buyers right now. We went and looked and put an offer on a house last weekend. We didn't get it. And we went over asking too, and we still didn't get it. It was a newer roof, newer AC, newer. The list was new. And beautiful house, pool home here in Boynton Beach, actually in Lantana, Lake Worth. And it went quick. Like, I think they had an open house, so it may have been 5 days total on the market. Went and looked at one yesterday, newer roof, new pool surface, really nice home, clean, really cool looking inside. And went with one of my buyers, but his other partner couldn't see it, so we were waiting for them to come see it at the open house Saturday. The realtor called me today, under contract, 2 or 3 days on the market, and he got over asking price on that. So it's the market's still crazy here in South Florida. You know, I know you guys watch other YouTubers. I know there's a lot of them around here in South Florida. I know some of the guys. I work with one of the guys. I know that people out there talking about the market and everything that's going on right now and everything. And certain things have changed, but I will tell you, and I know my one friend will say the same. When he always goes back and talks about the market, he'll go back and talk about Palm Beach County. Palm Beach County is not crashing. These sellers aren't desperate. They're getting what they want for their homes. So it's not, I know it's not what you want to hear, but it is still a tough market for buyers right now. So, you know, I don't see these people and I keep saying, oh, they're losing and then they're desperate. They're not desperate. They're literally, the homes are selling in 2 days. So At least in certain markets, if it's a really good home and really good shape. But I think that's always been, if a house was in good shape and had a lot of new on it, they always sold pretty quick because everyone knows no one wants to buy a house with a lot of repairs down the road, like AC and roof and all that. All right. Month of supply. Last year we had 1.2 months worth of inventory, and now there's 3.2. So again, there are more homes available here in Palm Beach County for sale. Switching to something a little less expensive, townhomes and condos. So townhomes and condos, the median price last year was $294,000, and the median price in 2023 is $312,000. So, and we're talking about March for those of you guys who just may have popped on. Original list price 100% last year. They're getting 94.3% this year. Days to contract last year 10. Now 35 days before it usually goes under contract. Although I told you the last two that we've looked at were under contract on 5 or less. And inventory last year, there was about 1,496 townhomes or condos available during the month of March in Palm Beach County. And this year there's 3,880. And months of supply, we had 1. And this now in March of 2023, we have 3.7. So that's the Palm Beach County market snapshot. There are more homes available for you. There are more options. Of course, interest rates are a lot higher than they were this time last year. We all know that. But the homes are still moving pretty fast, at least for my buyers. We're looking, we're trying, and we were like, I found one. And then the realtor called me and it's gone. So you've got to be ready to pull the trigger pretty quick. And unfortunately, we couldn't on this one because, the other partner didn't get a chance to see it. So we just have to, we're strategizing about that. We're going out looking again tomorrow. So, all right, who do we got? We got a couple of people watching. Some people popped in. We got Jelani. Thank you. Peter, hey, welcome back. Hey, man, how are rent prices currently trending? For the first time, rent prices across the nation dropped 3%, Peter, in 3 years. For the first time, or was it 4%? 4% in 3 years. Hey, Anthony, how are the units in the 55 community selling, like Century Village? I haven't looked. I'll answer that question in a second, Anthony. Peter, the rents went down a little bit, but again, and in Palm Beach County, they came down, I think, 2%. But you have to remember, places like West Palm Beach and West Palm Beach and Delray Beach, rent prices in 2021 and 22 went up 41%. So, I mean, they're normally 3 to 5% a year they go up, right? They went at 41%. It was stupid. So that 2% drop really, it's ridiculous. It doesn't mean anything to most people. I mean, you're gonna look at a positive, the prices went down, right? So we'll see what happens with those rents and if they continue to go down and making it a little bit more affordable for people looking to rent. Hey, Anthony, welcome. Thanks. How are the units in 55 plus? I haven't been doing too much in the 55 plus, Anthony. I haven't been working with too many clients in that area. I mean, I did sell one. I guess only a month ago. Maybe it was out recently, maybe a month and a half ago. I did sell one in a 55 place. We got full price cash and had it sold in 7 days. At least under contract. So it was a really nice unit. So I mean, it went pretty quick. We had a couple offers that were lower. We said no. We waited. We got the higher offer we wanted, and a little bit of negotiating in there. With a small credit of like $1,200 credit, but they still pretty much got what they wanted for the house. So, but typically 55 and older units are less expensive than homes outside of a 55 and older community, like an all-age community. And right now we're getting out of that snowbird season. So it'd be interesting to see if people are like, okay, we did our last winter in Florida and we're going to sell. A lot of times you will see some homes come on the market. As people decide that they don't want to come back again next winter and they just decide to sell the house. So we'll have to see in the next few months here as we get out of April and go into May, we'll start to see those 55 and older communities kind of get quieter. But also you may see more listings pop up. Maybe people decide to sell and upgrade to a newer house. Maybe they're going into assisted living, a lot of different options with 55 and older. So those places are always busy though. Kings Point, places like that. Seem to be in Century Village, always seem to be pretty busy. So, but all right. Peter, was that 44% rent increase each year or total? That's a good question. They said it went up. I think in 20, if I remember the report, it went up just 41% from what it was before. Normally, it was rents were normally a 3 to 5%, and it went up for like 2021. It was 2021, 2022, maybe 2022 when the rents were super high, and I believe they went up shot up to like 44%. People were like making multiple offers or getting multiple offers on rents, and people were making offers sight unseen on some rentals. It was crazy. So the normal increase on rents typically like 3 to 5% a year. So hopefully, we'll see if those rent prices ever come back down. I know there's some videos I've been watching talking about landlords that are about to get hit hard, foreclosures and stuff like that. I haven't seen it yet, but I know they've been talking about it. So we'll see what happens with the rentals. So, all right. So there you go. So there's the market report. Welcome. We got some new people. Welcome back. Cheers. So, all right. So I got my notes. I got my little pad here, my iPad going, so I can put a little dot next to market update. Done. Trying to be more organized for you guys. I prepped. I did some prepping for y'all. So I had some stuff to talk about. So, all right. Well, let's get it. Let me take a sip here. All right. Well, I hope everyone's having a good Friday. So what else? So I'm going to move my stories around because since Peter was talking about rent, so this is kind of a cool concept, but you have to be a person like a nomad, right? You can go when on the go. So there's this company called Landing, and Landing has this service where for about $12.95 a month, you can have a fully furnished, nice rental in like 300 plus places across the country, with your internet and everything included, furnished, really, really nice. But the catch is, and if I understand, I just saw it today, I just kind of going off, you have to be willing to relocate in 3 days. So the girl that was on the news report said, I could be here a week, I could be here 3 more days. And then you have to be ready to like go and leave and go to another place. So she's been to like Chicago, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and now she's in Sarasota. So if you're the person that has a job, single, right? It's not obviously not some family and someone with pets and all that, because they said pets wasn't an option, I believe, at one of it. But if you have that kind of lifestyle where you can work from anywhere and you don't necessarily care where you're at and you just work and you're not worried about making friends for too long, might be a cool option to check out Landings and see if it works for you, because for like $12.95, you could live in a really nice place and everything's included with that. I think it's all your utilities and your furnishings. They had plates, everything's fully furnished. And then, you may travel around the whole country. You can be in Florida one day and maybe California the next. Of course, what they didn't talk about is the moving expense, right? I mean, I guess you're only moving with your clothes and your personal items, whatever stuff that may be. But the cost to either fly or drive to another state and not knowing exactly where you're going. So it definitely not something I think I'd ever be comfortable doing, but it seemed pretty cool. So they're just trying to find ways, the company, to deal with the high rent prices for people. And I guess it works for some people. So why don't you guys leave a comment and let me know what you think about that. Would you rent someplace knowing that you could be there, but with 3 days notice, you have to leave? Just anytime you're there and it's like all of a sudden you got to go. Because I think what happens is someone comes in and rents it at a full rental price. So that's why they have it like that. So, hey, Bill, my buddy. Thank you, bud. Bill's one of my fellow YouTube friends, a fellow realtor up in North Carolina and South Carolina, Charlotte. Charleston. I'm getting my cities mixed up, Bill. Sorry. So Charleston, he's out there in Charleston showing everyone the cool areas there, and he does some really cool videos and has a cool channel. So be sure to give Bill a plug. That's right, Charleston, man, where they have good beer and amazing food. So I haven't forgot about you. I know I got to send you a beer gift card or something. So you guys check out Bill Olson's channel. He's got a really cool channel and shows all sorts of cool stuff from that amazing city, which I can't wait to get back to one day. So, Bill, I know you're just popping in, but have you ever heard of the company Landings? It's this weird company you can rent. It's like $1,300 a month, but if you live there, everything's furnished, but you got to be ready to pop out within 3 days notice. So you could be there in Charleston, and the next thing you know, you could be in Amarillo, Texas, or wherever they have a place. So he's a fellow realtor as well, folks. All right, guys. We're going to move on. We talked about the new luxury rentals, so we're going to check that off the box here. So, all right. It's good to be organized. I'll give all the credit to my wife. She's the one who tells me, make a list, have a list, be organized. So, all right. So let's go talk about Brinny Breezes. This is kind of a neat story. So there is here in South Florida and near Gulfstream, close to Delray Beach, there's a place called Brinny Breezes. It's a trailer park community that's been there. I don't know how long it's been there. It's been there a long time. And it sits in between the Intracoastal Waterway, right along US or A1A, the road that runs kind of all the way down. If you've ever been to South Florida, A1A, Jimmy Buffett sings about it. It's a cool road. It goes all the way down by the beach and the ocean. So they got the ocean, they got the trailer park, and they got A1A, they got some more trailers, and they got the Intracoastal Waterway. And it's a really kind of cool place. And people have been there for a long time. You know, they're trailers, right? They're right along the water. And they got this little private little beach area that they go up to, and they got the little clubhouse. And they got all these cool chairs that kind of look like the Google. They call them the Google chairs. It's got all the Google colors. And it's really neat. And the beach is beautiful. Back in 2006, they were offered a whole lot of money to sell. And 80% of the people said yes, but not 100. So it didn't happen. Well, they just recently got offered $500 million to sell. And the interesting thing is they own shares. So they own, like, based on the square footage of their trailer, they have shares in the community. So it's like a corporation. And they said that the average person has about 32 shares. So they equated that they would walk away with about 1.5 million or something. But when you live where they live, 1.5 million is not going to buy you much on the water in South Florida. So the homes next door to Brinny Breezes and everything. Hello. The wife's popping in. So that's the wife, the one who told me to do lists.
Yes, that's me.
How are you?
Okay.
So it's cool. You have a trailer, but not everyone wants to do it. And some of the people absolutely said they're not going to sell. They have no interest in selling because you could not go buy a condo on the water where they're at for 1.5 million. So this is a neat place. I'm actually going to probably, like I said, make a video about that because it's a cool place. And I want to go down there and show the story about Brinny Breezes. And there's a great surf shop there. So it's a really cool place. But it's interesting that they got, offered all that money. But we'll see. And we'll see if they vote to sell this time. Because they did say with the cost of assessments and obviously insurance, those, and they are probably in an area that is prone to flooding. If we had a big enough surge, that they're probably going to be getting hit with some kind of flood insurance quotes if there was citizens anyway. So, they said those costs are something that some of the people are like, maybe they would sell and head out to somewhere else. I don't know where they'd go, but it'd be sad to see it because it's kind of cool and it's Florida and it's just neat to kind of see this place that's there. It's that old Florida, like just what you think back in the 70s and the 80s. And you drive by it and there's all these white trailers, that people live in. And it's this cool little community and golf carts. And they go right up to the beach and chill out and go back home. They got their own little civic center right there and a great surf shop next door. So I think it's pretty cool. I'd be sad to see it go. Matter of fact, speaking of things that are going, I was working on a video today that you guys will see. And it was about a cool place here called Brinny's on the Beach. Now, if any of you guys have ever been to South Florida and Lake Worth Pier, Brinny's on the Beach has been there since 1986. And they have a Brinny's down the road in the main part of this, what they call a casino. It used to be an old casino in the 1920s. And they have that place. But Brinny's is right at the end of the pier or the beginning of the pier. So you go and sit down at Brinny's and it's got the bar and they got people singing and they play games. They got dining off on the side. And then the pier's on the back side of it going towards the ocean. And it's a cool place. And it's been there. But apparently their lease is up and the city voted against renewing the lease, extending it. So, and the rates were going up. So the money involved in there. So it's kind of, it sucks because it's a cool place. Angie and I went there last year. We were there 4th of July when I did a video about Lake Worth. So you can see it in that video of mine about Lake Worth and the pier. And it's just a cool place. It's old Florida, it's got that cool feel to it. You sit there, everyone's chill, no one's uppity. It's not bougie, right? But, it may be gone. If they don't, and let's see what's going to come in there. By the way, wait till Friday. Welcome to Florida. I know what y'all are probably thinking, but, where's the fish? So we'll see what happens with it. It's a cool place. I hope it stays. I interviewed some locals, and they really like it, and they don't want to see it go at all. And it employs about 200 people. And we started it had like 5 people, and there's 200. Most of the people that work there actually live in the town of Lake Worth. So, you're talking about putting 200 people out of a job. I mean, I guess some could go and work for the new establishment, whatever that might be, but who knows? So, all right. Any new comments other than Bill saying hi and stopping in? Let's see. Did I miss anybody? Nope. You got any new viewers? If you guys popped on, feel free to leave a comment on the side. Let me know where you're from. And I know my buddy Bill there is drinking a beer. At least he put a toast. Cheers to anyone out there. If you're having a cocktail, it's 8:36 on Friday evening here on the East Coast. So I hope you're enjoying your Friday. So yeah, so it's an interesting week. So Brinny Breezes and Benny's on the beach. So I like having. See, I need to see it. You can't see it. You can't see it. It's too blurry, but I got my notes. It feels good to have something like the notes to go off. So I'm trying to do it freestyle. Wasn't working so well. All right, guys. Well, the last story is the one that I sort of spoke a little bit about. And for many of y'all, this is a real important story, especially if you're living here or considering moving here. And that one is about Citizens Insurance. Now, Citizens is our state insurance or state-funded insurance here. The insurance of last resort, as my wife's making all sorts of noise. And they just recently sort of dropped the bomb on people with a lot of stuff. So as of April, anyone that was getting a policy that was in a flood area, right, had to have flood insurance. Come July, anyone that's with Citizens and in a flood zone will have to have flood insurance. And unless you don't have a wind policy, which I don't know why someone wouldn't have a wind policy in Florida with tornadoes and hurricanes, but that's what my insurance person told me. And then they're going to start rolling it out gradually. So over the next couple of years, they'll start with like next year with homes valued at $600,000, they'll have to get flood insurance. Now, this again, this was Citizens Insurance. The thing is that once they start rolling it out next year, it doesn't matter if you're in a flood zone or not. Right now, it's if you're in a flood zone. I think what happens is next year, if you're whether a flood zone or not, you'll have to get flood insurance. And if you have a policy with Citizens and you don't have flood insurance, then the insurance person I spoke to said they could cancel you. So if you don't have it, and by 2027, everyone that's with Citizens, regardless of where you live, will have to have a flood insurance policy. So that adds quite a burdensome to a lot of people who are having a hard time paying insurance right now as it is. Now, some of those policies could be very low depending on where they are in Florida, but some of them, especially like Brinny Breezes, you're right next to the ocean, those could be extremely expensive. So we'll see what happens with the whole flood insurance in the state of Florida with that. But that was some pretty big news here in the state of Florida. It's obviously something I'm concerned about as anyone that's buying a house, and people are trying to buy homes, get insurance. And then now you look at the additional cost of having flood insurance on top of the regular policy. And this is all stems from the storms that we had last year. And that something like 18% of the people that were flooded, I think in the East Coast or the West Coast, only 18% of the people actually had flood insurance. So if you saw the damage from over there, it was just horrible. And there's just everyone was flooded more than they ever thought would flood. That's the thing. That storm hit, and they weren't expecting that kind of surge. They'd never seen that kind of surge. So a lot of people didn't have flood insurance, and of course, they're not getting policies and not being covered for the damage. So that's the Citizens, a big story here in Florida, and the insurance in general. And plus the rates are going up again as well. I think people are about to get a rate increase. So just not that's not the fun news. So we'll see what happens with all that. But it's I don't know. It's what are you gonna do, right? I mean, it is what it is. They're doing it, and I guess you just have to stay or you can leave. And we'll see what happens with that. And I'm curious to see if people do start moving out of Florida because of that. So, all right. Those are my stories for this Friday, guys. I went through all my notes. We had 5 stories and went through all of them, and it's only 36 minutes on here. Not a lot of questions from you guys. Not as many people online watching this Friday. So I guess everyone had hot dates or games to go to, or I'm just not that interesting, and I will work on that for you. But if anyone has a question or a comment, I'm going to open it up now because I don't have any more material, and I can sometimes rely on you guys. So I see some people there. I see one person watching from the people who were watching earlier. So maybe that one person's watching. You can ask me a question or not. We'll sit here for a second. I'm just going to take a sip of my beer and see if someone else pops on and if anybody wants to ask a question. The silence is killing me. All right, viewer. It's just you and me. You got to ask a question. I don't know who you are. You got to type something on the side there. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else I could ask you guys or talk to you guys about. Well, it's like a sinking ship here. But that's okay. I do not give up. I will keep doing this until I build an audience. That's what I'm doing this for. So let's keep coming up with more material to talk about, and we'll find more things to do. I'll keep bringing you news about what's going on. And who knows, maybe Fridays will be an hour. Sometimes maybe there'll be a half hour, since not a whole lot of people are popping on. But I'm going to give it a few more. I'm going to wait a few minutes. We'll go to the 40 minute mark. All right. So we got like 2.5 more minutes. We'll see if people come on. And if not, I will cut it and I'm going to go watch some TV and enjoy my Friday. But trying to think of anything else that I could talk about. I did do a new video coming out, working on a new video. It was about renting in Lake Worth for $2,000 a month. So I was talking about how Brinny's is a cool place to go to until we found out Brinny's wasn't going to be there. So, and I've now lost everybody. Everyone's left me. Oh, boo-hoo. So, so I made a new video about renting in Lake Worth, and it's a cool little rental for $2,000 a month, close to a lot of restaurants and bars. So I'm gonna work on that video, so you guys will see something coming up this weekend. Well, let's see. We will just let's see if we can put on some music. Hey, there's somebody, Leland. Well, I appreciate it. And you're the only one watching me right now, brother. I had a few people, not as many as last weekend. Everyone's got hot dates tonight or game to go to or something. So I do have my beer, Leland. I don't have today. So turn this music off. So, and we had a couple good things. If you go back, this was a decent one, Leland. I was organized. I had a list, subjects, things to talk about. I had it all over here on my phone and nicely organized. So we went through everything. You got a Samuel Adams lager. There you go. That's it. There's my boy. That's a good one, man. Hope you guys are enjoying your Friday and have a nice weekend ahead of you. It was beautiful today. The water was just green and aqua colored like I've never seen it. I was at the Lake Worth Pier, and man, it was beautiful. So, but so we had a couple people on. I'm gonna keep doing this, Leland. I'm gonna be here every Friday. I'm gonna build this, man. You'll be here for the 4th. Any suggestions? Where are you gonna be in the 4th, Leland? Palm Beach County? see if you see Lake Worth. Yes. Okay. Perfect, buddy. All right. So, well, so if you came in a little late, I was talking about, if Leland, you've been here before. I don't know if you know Benny's on the beach, but Benny's on the beach right there at the pier, Lake Worth Pier. The city is not going to renew their lease. And they've been here since 1987, 86, and they might not renew their lease. Now, there is a Benny's on the beach further down by what they call the casino, if you know what that is, where they have the restaurants, but the actual Benny's on the beach right there at the pier might not be there come July 4th because they're not renewing their lease. And I think it ends next month. And he doesn't want to pay the new prices, the new rate increase. So I don't know, could be gone. So we don't know what's going to be there, which is sad. Because I was going to say, my wife and I spent Lake Worth, 4th of July at Lake Worth Beach last year, and it was fantastic. And we loved it. We had a great time. But that's always kind of a fun place to go to and hang out, depending on what's there. Also, Delray Beach has a really good 4th of July. They do a family-friendly 4th of July, so it's usually a pretty neat thing to go check out. And they used to do one on Flagler in West Palm. I don't know if they still do 4th on Flagler. I think they do. That one gets a little crazy. It's hard. It's not as enjoyable. It's just really kind of stuck there like sardines. But the Delray one's pretty cool. You can walk up and down the avenue, and that's a well-organized one. So, and if not, just go to the Lake Worth Beach and hang out. I mean, there's still going to be stuff to do there. And we had a good time there last year. It was a lot of fun. So hopefully they'll have it there. It's not looking good for Benny's, which I feel sad for them because it's a cool place and employ 200 people and everything. But it looks like it's probably not going to be there. And that's sad because, 1986, I was 2 years out of high school, and it's a kid, man. It's been a long time. So anyway, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, be sure to let me know when you're coming in town, Leland. Maybe I can meet you and your wife, or meet you guys and have a beer with you or say hello. It's one of the things I'd love to do is meet some of my viewers. I've met a few, and it's always fun to meet you guys who watch and just shoot the shit, laugh a little bit about Florida and everything that's going on. So, but I hope you have a good weekend, brother. Enjoy that Samuel Adams, and have a good Friday and a good rest of your weekend. So, all right, folks. Well, we went past 40. Thanks to Leland. Thank you, Leland. You got me past the 40-minute mark. We're not going to hit an hour, but that's okay. You don't always have to go an hour. And I appreciate anyone and everyone who came on board and left a comment, asked a question. All my details are always available. You can go to www.palmbeachespaul.com to look for properties and information about living in South Florida. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I think most of you have. If you know someone who should subscribe, tell them about my channel. I appreciate it. And yeah, you guys need anything real estate related, reach out to me. I'd be happy to talk to you and help you look for investment properties, winter homes, or anything and everything in between, except for commercial. I don't do commercial real estate. And so with that, I'm going to cheer my friend Leland and my Bill and everyone else who had a cocktail, and happy Fridayz to you guys here from Florida. Cheers. It's a good IPA. And everyone have a great weekend. Get out, enjoy paradise, and watch for the videos this weekend. I'll talk to you see you next Friday live, and we'll see you on the video coming from somewhere here in South Florida. All right. Talk to you later.